Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade, where we have spent 200 solid turns slowly starving. I cannot get my food under control. Listen, we have all this under Empire and it's doing such a great job of generating money for us. Also, it's very difficult to maintain positive food as Skaven once your Empire gets big, because look at that. We're paying 68 food per turn just into our settlement upkeep for the number of settlements we own. Food's tough. Food's a tough thing to maintain. It's fine. We're doing okay without it. So we have a lot of stuff going on over the next couple of turns. A lot of big moves, but I think this turn might be relatively straightforward. Obviously, we got to take care of Kungor. Pretty important that I get that gold mine before Clan Moors gets to it. Although it looks like that is not, in fact, a this turn kind of thing. You guys don't have any terribly shocking maneuvers to pull off. I mean, this is gonna be this is gonna be real nice and easy, right? We are probably we're actually heading toward another rebellion immediately after the current rebellion. This is gonna be a little awkward. Let's try to get our defenses back in. Oh, you're not actually tier 2 yet. Well, you know what you could do is just build a growth building. What a surprise. Gotta get all this stuff repaired post dwarf invasion. It's like, where's the nearest dwarf territory from here? Okay, they currently control Ekrund, although it's surrounded by hostile, so it's hard to imagine that'll hold on for very long. And then they have stuff at Dokkaraz and Barak Var. We could post a scout in the water, potentially. I believe agents that are in boats cannot be acted upon, so we could just have somebody sit right here in the bay and keep an eye on all this perfectly safely. It might be worth doing. It might be worth paying the upkeep cost for. Remamute, of course, is going to take Karakern for the 6th time, something like that. And sadly, despite the fact that this is going to go the same way that it has gone in the past, we do have to do it manually because it's going to kill my entire army if we do it the other way. But we're going to collapse the Dwarven Empire really soon here. So once we get rid of the dwarves, then we're looking toward Coron and the Southlands, which is an area we haven't been to at all. An area we haven't even really thought about very much. That's going to be a weird thing. It's going to be Skaven and Bretonnians fighting in the desert, which is not really ideal terrain for either of us. Like, it's got... There's a lot of open, flat territory, which ordinarily is kind of a good thing for a Bretonnian force. You know, they like to have room to charge. But against our guns, it's just going to mean that they never, ever survive. Right? Like, they're going to get cut to pieces very, very quickly in every single battle. So, I don't know. I would give the advantage to us, personally, because I believe in us. That's what I've decided. What do I think? Like, here, maybe? That's probably not exactly going to work. We're probably going to have to pull these guys back a little bit. But I bet that's approximately right. Let them take over the tower here. Yeah, that looks good. That looks okay. Alright, hopefully we can make this happen relatively quickly. So we'll just go ahead and drop that assault of stone up here. Try to break these guys down. Get storm vermin on the walls immediately. Have these guys shift this way a little bit, just try to get them out of gunfire range quicker. Yeah, you would hope that the dwarves will understand what's going on here and surrender, but we all know that that's not exactly what's going to happen. If they surrendered as soon as it made sense to do so, they would hardly be dwarves, would they? The tower doesn't quite have shooting range on us. I did that semi-correctly. Let's roll our bellman over here so that he can lend his leadership bonus to the people on the wall. Not that that's necessary. Looks like the enemies... We can't cast Plague on the wall, can we? Oh no, we totally can. Well, shoot, let's do some of that then. Let us summon the spirit of the plague upon them. That's probably going to motivate a little bit of movement. Nope, they're just going to stand there? I mean, it's doing kind of a lot of damage. I would move. Okay, they figured it out eventually. I guess they were like, well, we could move out of the plague toward all those heavily armored enemies. I don't know, that might not be an upgrade in our situation. It's a fair point. We don't really need Bless with Filth, but also I do like casting spells. Continue to weaken the enemies. Just this thing and vigor up our guys after climbing the wall. They could probably use a little bit of a push. Okay, and I mean this is gonna go the way that it always goes, right? They're gonna slowly rotate dudes up onto the wall. We're going to continue to kill them with magics and whatnot. Yeah, that plague actually, like, despite their magic resistance, that plague does some decent damage if they are forced to stand in it by the fact that they don't have anywhere else to go. Alright, this should be over presently. Let's go ahead and get gun teams in position to fire upon things coming out of the gates, and then we'll go and take the gates, and yeah, you know how it is. You've seen this once or twice. Actually, you should probably be behind the gun teams. What am I doing? You can continue to bless everyone. Bless their little ratty hearts. You know, with filth and poison. That sounds more... Obviously, we don't want to harm the rats. Who would want to harm a rat? I can't imagine what kind of monster. Do I want to... You know what? You do this thing. Their lord can go back there and take control of that, or he can come up here and fight us on the wall, but he cannot do both. I should probably be running Wither. Reduce the dwarves' armor by 60. Should speed this process up a tiny bit. I don't know, you guys could go bash the gate up, I guess. You know, we don't necessarily need to wait for them to get control of it. Can I cast Scorch on the wall? No, okay. Some spells you can and some spells you can't. There doesn't seem to be a lot of rhyme or reason to it. These guys are actually taking a little bit of a beating. I mean, these are proper Longbeards, and they're up close and they're actually in position where they can melee us. Also, at some point, our Storm Vermin forgot how to kill archers, apparently. Just can't quite seem to get the job done. Okay, there we go. There's the surrender. Took them long enough. Alright, hopefully that'll be the last time we have to do that. I think we can probably hold this now. Because again, the dwarves are going to have a really, really hard time moving out to fight with us. One thing I like a lot about that plan is it really concentrates the kills on our Storm Vermin. It can be, in my experience, and probably this is an artifact of the way I play, which is to say, very focused on ranged weapons and trying not to involve my melee units in melee where possible, I have a hard time getting levels on infantry. So this style of siege battle concentrates a lot of experience on our most elite guys and thus gets them up to a reasonable level relatively quickly. We really do need to fix our recruitment, though. A bunch of our armies are worn down, shadows of their original strength. Because it's all just been push, push, push forever. Okay, you... What was I doing with you? You have your blue line and your yellow line both sorted. You are taking engineering skill, clearly. I'm fine with that. We could just keep doing that. I'm fine with that decision that I'm the one who made. Every once in a while, past SB kind of seems to know what he's doing. Alright, just scouting. So Grom Peak, unfortunately, if you can't use underway movement, it's really awkward to get around in these mountains. If you can underway move, you can just go from like Grom Peak down to here in a single move, provided you have enough movement. Looks like the dwarves are pretty rapidly losing ground here. Would you guys be willing to consider Confederation? Okay, I didn't think so. We don't necessarily need that Confederation to happen. It sure would be helpful. We might be able to get enough settlements without his help. Let's swing you around down here. Boy, what were we going to do with Opside? I mean, he could hang out up here and just keep an eye on what's going on with Kislev. That might be a thing worth doing, honestly. How much do they hate us? Okay, a lot. So, there's not really a strong incentive for him not to harass them every turn, then. Yeah, if they already feel that way about us. Okay, absolutely upgrade the gold mine. That's another 150 gold per turn. I'm not in a huge hurry to upgrade Norden. I think Wolfenburg can come first. And we have an imminent rebellion in the Black Mountains. Oh, right outside Karakern. Yeah, that's fine. That we can deal with. How's Remmute's army gonna look? Oh, we're more than capable of putting down a rebellion. Actually, a couple of rebellions in quick succession, because that's, some people might say that we have not administrated our territory in the most effective way. Obviously, those people are cowards and traitors to the cause, but they're also they're also right. You can be both things. It's fine. The rats, fear will keep them in line, etc. Star system slipping through your grasp. You know, it's fine. It is probably going to take Clan Moors like another half dozen turns to get his armies actually down into dwarf territory. I am absolutely not breaking my trade agreement. I don't know why she even wants that to happen so badly. I get that, like, she doesn't like them, but why is that the way the AI chooses to handle that? I don't know. Her time is probably approaching. I guess we have to think about diplomacy here. We have to think about the way we want to do these things. Because if we were to just attack her right now, we'd take a big hit to our diplomatic reliability, and that might make our other allies nervous about us. And I don't really want Clan Moors to start thinking they can't trust me, because their armies are, first of all, massive, and secondly, in my territory already. So if we're going to have at her, we probably want to, interesting, he's going to go settle Salzenmund? I mean, that's fine. It's a weird choice. Yeah, if we're gonna attack her in a way that's not going to murder our diplomatic standing, it's a little bit of a process where we have to, like, break the non-aggression pact and then wait 10 turns. We might want to start thinking about that. Alright, rebellions and raiding and dwarves and ghosts and dwarf ghosts. I mean, it's a real horror show, pretty much everywhere. Our entire territory is so screwed up. Alright, let's put this guy away. Now, what we really need to do is get Karakern. We need to build a bell in Karakern. We also need to take Migdal von Galbarak, which is a thing that we have attempted to do on numerous occasions. We've had a small amount of trouble with it. What was I doing with your... Oh, I was going to pick up the Storm Vermin skill, I think. Or maybe Blastmaster? Weapon team thing is also good. What does Respected and Feared actually give us? 8 attack, 12% weapon strength. I think it might just be Blastmaster. The Storm Vermin are good and everything, but they're really there to support the Skaven weapon teams. Alright, let's stop at the edge. Okay, it looks like attrition starts right about there. stop at the edge of that area. And I guess we'll recruit. We can recruit just a unit of rats. And actually, as long as we're standing here recruiting, I'm going to kick these Skaven slaves out. We're going to get another unit of clan rats in there. Okay.
Master Engineer.
This is a battle that I'm sure we will not actually have to play. These guys are horribly outmatched and also horribly outnumbered. I can't believe we even lost 264 people. Oh, really? With the military crackdown and everything, we're only barely holding even. Well, the bell's close to completion. Public order is a real problem for us, though. Like, everywhere. We've mostly managed to compensate, but it sucks that we have to put so much effort into compensating. Yeah, let's just get Counter-Striker up until he has Assassin's Trophy, which obviously will be very helpful. And then... yeah, I don't know. These guys just need to get out of here. We can start pushing the dwarves from the east with these armies. We could also, I guess, move them toward Sartosa and start the process of going after Sartosa. Wow, their strength rank 7? Really? How many... hold on, how many factions are left? Okay, at least 34. Probably roughly 34, because these guys are minimum strength, and they're in 34th place. Hexawaddle, we just met Hexawaddle. We don't really know a lot about what's going on with them. They start over... sorry, here we go. They start over here, so they might hold a significant amount of territory that we've just never, ever seen. I'm a little worried about the fact that they're so highly ranked and they hate us so much. That's another another problem we might have. Also, interesting to see that whoever strength rank 4 is, we haven't met them yet. Oh, I guess that could be a faction that's down here. Do we know Tlaqua yet? No, we don't. Okay, it could be them. Yeah, all right. We'll lay off Sartosa for a while. Stay allied with them through the fight for Kuron's lands. I don't think we really need to push any further to the east here. I think Cherryflesh is good where he is. Keeping an eye on stuff. You may as well harass. Let's continue to build up experience here. So Essen and Mordheim are both pretty close to our enemies. I don't know that it really matters which one we build up first. Essen actually could build us a food thing. We are going to continue to possibly futilely try to pull our food up out of this spiral. Yeah, let's cap some stuff out. You're already in public order mode, right? Yeah. And I mean, we can upgrade some money-making buildings here, I guess. Not like a lot, obviously. Sure. Generate me some lumber. Who are the border princes at war with? Anybody? They're at war with the Sartosans. That's interesting. Also, Dark Elves, who will never ever have a chance to be anywhere near them. And somehow one of the Chaos factions is still alive, still limping around. So probably we're not going to see this stuff fall on its own. We're gonna have to deal with that. Actually, how big is their empire? At this point, how many settlements do they own? They own 11. Can we see all of them? So that's 7 right there. 8, 9, 10. No, maybe not. Maybe we can't see all of them, but we know where most of them are. We could just wipe them out. I guess let's deal with the dwarves in the mountains to the east first, and then we can double back and deal with the tiny pockets of humans still living in our land.
Chief Warlock, Icket Claw.
Alright, let's do this thing again. It really should just...
Which
actually, I'm curious. We're probably going to have to play this manually, but if I hit auto-resolve, exactly what happens in this situation?
this up?
It kills a couple of my guys. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it to not have to play that same siege over again.
Mine now.
We'll just have to do a little bit more recruiting. That gives us the money necessary to level up Castle Baston. And also some of the buildings therein. That leveled up, and not really anything useful that we can build here. We have so much territory, so many places that are of so little consequence. How about Marienburg? How's Marienburg doing? Okay, 7 turns off of the big important upgrade. You know, we actually do need to get an arcane generator going here. Well, that can be a concern for next turn. Oh, hey, we don't even have one of those yet. Okay, that'll be helpful. I guess we do also have to, like, actually finish the defenses around Gorsel. And then we have, like, the Black Pit is a problem. Build one of these for when we turn taxation back on, since these are dirt cheap to construct. Here, we're going to need to probably build a second bell in Middenheim. Yeah, there's just a lot of negative public order modifiers. And we're only 1 vial of warp fuel away from unlocking that final Regiment of Renown. That's cool. Oh, you know what else we should do? We have that army, is it Hadar? Way up in the north, sitting in Ehrengrad. They could probably be doing some global recruitment. Since we don't intend to take them anywhere for a while, they could be using this opportunity to just become a real army that can then be used to crush Kislev. Oh, did you see the fireworks there? That Clan Moor's army moved and then there were fireworks. That means a battle occurred. We did not get to see who won, but we know, we can hear from our settlement the sounds of combat in the mountains, ringing across the peaks, etc. That's definitely interesting. We're going to have to take a look at that and figure out what's happening. Okay, the dwarves are showing us way, way weaker than we are. That's maybe like... I'm guessing that's 2 armies? Yeah, their position is going to collapse here. So we have 6 of the 17 cities that we need now. There's at least 1 or 2 not that far to the south of us in the desert, which we could probably grab if we can get there before what's his name, Queek does. We're gonna have a hard time making it to 17 though. 17's a lot. Well, we gotta get Kislev, that's one. I guess that should, stabilizing the front against the dwarves and then moving on Kislev needs to be our focus at the moment. We can take all the stuff from the border princes, and we totally will just for stability's sake, but it is, of course, worth noting that we're not going to gain any settlements by doing, or we're not going to gain any of the important settlements by doing so. So we can pull up a new Doom Engineer. You know what? Maybe that's a good idea. Should we be thinking about more Undercity to the south? Not necessarily for the purpose of building up an actual Undercity, but maybe for the purposes of making one of those instant Doomstack buildings, which we totally might need. We could put somebody under Kemri. Oh yeah, man, that's not a bad idea. And we haven't gotten to do a Vermintide yet. I was very excited about it at the beginning of the campaign, and then we got sidetracked into lots of other stuff. All right, let's make another Doom Engineer. We're gonna try to make this happen again. Okay. First things first. Hold on. Before we do anything else, I'm gonna forget if we don't deal with the Hadar situation right now.
Stink of command.
Ooh. Okay, let's do this first. Let's go forth and retrieve some fell cargo.
Master Commander.
I don't know that I trust his army to defeat a foe in battle. We'll take the little reward. Look at how many Skaven slaves there are. He might have been able to do it. It's really hard to know exactly what they would have thrown at us. Sometimes it's like a 10-unit pirate army, which we absolutely could have taken. But sometimes it's a little scarier. All right, let's get a bell installed here. We're going to want to eventually be able to not leave an army here, right? It'd be cool if this place took care of itself. Don't have any recruitment structures. Guess let's just move into the mountains a little bit. I want to see if I can see what's going on over here. Huh. Well, it doesn't look like anybody's around. We'll go into ambush mode. We'll just shelter here and take a turn of attrition from the elements, and then we'll take Khazad Urkulaz, because that completes the province for us. He might be up here a while. Vomik has finished his recruitment. Ooh, also we have a lot of work to do here. So what else do we need? We need to start building recruitment buildings. Is a bell important to put together right now? No, as long as we're gonna have an army parked here, I think I want to focus on getting the recruitment structures started. And then we do need to upgrade Waldenhof. Probably that doesn't take priority, because we could get attacked from Karak Kadrin. I don't know. If we lose Waldenhof, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Alright, so Vomik is... Yeah, Vomik's good. He's right where he needs to be. Bilefitch. I think Bilefitch is just going to push toward, like, Barak Var? Yeah, let's go that way. And this lets us be nearby in case Remamute suddenly gets in trouble and he needs some assistance. Should march mode to keep up with him. I'm going to pull him back just a little bit. I want to make sure these armies are not out of reinforcement range of each other. Alright, Remamute. It's an underway move over to hereabouts. Didn't want to go too far just in case there was an actual army at this settlement. One of our assassins is slowly leveling. I do not have any money left. That's true. I do in fact only have 80 gold. Let's go see what's happening at Karazakarak. This is a relatively important settlement. Okay, it looks like it might be under control. I don't have any money left, or Cherry Flesh would just would do some stuff there. And same is true of Upside. So you guys are done. And I guess that's all of us. Guess that's all of us done. Yeah, we really need to not have another army for a little while here. We have probably a couple 100,000 gold worth of sort of infrastructural debt. Things that need to get taken care of. Is this the declaration of war? It sure is. Well, we could call on our allies to help. Yeah, sure. Okay. Everybody has backed us up. Exoatl declared war on the eastern half of the world. Mostly what I wanted there was for Clan Moors to be at war with them. Not that I think Clan Moors is going to go over there and do anything. But this way, if a bunch of Hexoatl armies show up on my shore, we will at least have the ability to ask for Clan Moors to lend some assistance. Not that I necessarily expect them to do so, because that whole system is very... it's a little bit volatile. Also, I had not realized the Pirates of Sartosa are showing up as being almost as powerful as we are, which is maybe a concern for the betrayal. You know, when it becomes time to betray them, all their stuff is gathered up pretty tightly. geographically speaking. We can just have a series of massive victorious battles against them. I'm not worried. The dwarves cannot be driven out of this game soon enough. Just have so many agents. And it's so much harassment for such little effect. I'm really, really, really hoping that Clan Pestilence will do well against Corone over there on the southwestern continent, because we need them to go away. We need there not to be a large Corone area across the ocean. We need to be able to annihilate those guys without having to make that trip. Because if we go over there, we're going to end up fighting Lothern. And that's really, really not something I'm interested in. Okay, Vomik has been wounded, which is annoying. Because he's not a map agent, right? Vomik was in someone's army.
More warpstone. Now.
Definitely an annoying loss.
Slay.
Alright, let's just shelter in here for a minute.
You must spread our own corruption.
Okay, Vomik, you're not doing anything. Right, I could go take Jufbar, I suppose. I don't particularly need Jufbar, though. It does have recruitment structures. So by not taking it, I am potentially giving the dwarves the ability to start building an army here. But I mean, we can see the settlement. If they do that, we'll just respond.
Kill things.
Alright, does Remamute have Migdal von Galbarak? What exactly is in the garrison? It's probably that same... Yeah, it's that same dwarf garrison we've seen a bunch of times. You know, to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't mind having a second stack show up here just because it would probably mean we don't have to fight the battle manually. Can somebody get in reinforcement position this turn? No, we're way too far away. Alright. We'll head on over here now. And then next turn we can have one of the armies do an underway move up just to hasten our success there. It'll be Biofitch. I say one of the armies. Basically, Stunkrich can push Barrackvar while Biofitch pretends he's going to push Barrackvar. Oh, that's Thorgrim Grudgebearer, just standing in an open field. Well, I think we better keep our stacks together. If there's a dwarf army nearby, it could be a little tricky. And we don't have a scout in this area, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm super annoyed at Stunkrich's assassin getting pulled out of the army.
Mighty am I.
Alright, back to normal movement mode, back to Erengrad. Let's go ahead and start pulling some recruits in here. So what do we want to fix his army up with? He has Life is Cheap, so his Skaven slaves are a little bit better than normal. 10 plus 10 armor makes them have 15 total armor? No, sorry, 10. It makes them have 10 total armor. Yeah, that's not a good enough reason to keep these guys around. So if we were going to recruit, what would it be? We're going to be fighting Kislev with this army in the near future. Honestly, it's probably like, did I equip that Doomwheel thing over here? I totally did. It says Lord's Army. I'm not sure if it's actually... It looks like it's not actually going to be effective. Because you can see it's still 6 turns to pull in the Doom Wheel. Yeah, it really shouldn't... If this doesn't work on a hero, it really shouldn't let you equip it on a hero. Well, that's fine. I think we'll still get a couple of Doom Wheels. Maybe a couple. Maybe one Doom Wheel. Let's drop 5 units from this army. That's not... There we go. That's how counting works. And we'll start grabbing 2 Doom Wheels, and we don't really need anything else super fancy here, right? It's just better melee troops. So let's get, we're going to mostly be fighting humans, I think. normal storm vermin make a lot of sense. Oh, yeah, that's the maximum number. I want to queue up one more, because we have... Alright, so in 4 turns, we'll have that army going. I guess I could just pull in storm vermin in all the blue slots, and then... Yeah, actually, that's probably a better way to do it. We'll pull in storm vermin first, and then we'll queue up death runners, just a couple of death runners. Like we had to pull 2 more units here. Alright, in 6 turns, this army looks like much more modern and useful. Still got a couple units of Skaven slaves, but there's not a lot I can do about that. Alright, and that was like a whole turn's income that we just spent on recruitment there. We did leave enough money for low-level assassins to try to generate some XP. So Vomic's done what he needs to do. All of the armies have done what they need to do. Engine Bolt needs to get in the water. Apparently, his movement range was a little bit of a lie. Stay right where you are. You are providing valuable vision. 647 for an assassination. Okay, so yeah, we can't afford to do anything with it. We should probably... Do I want to try to force a rebellion here before we leave? I guess is the question. Is that the way we want to control our public order? Because if it is, then expansionist planning is probably the right move. Oh yeah, and I guess while we're sitting here sieging, we may as well build a ram. It would take 2 turns to build... Oh no, we could build a tower in a pair of towers in 1 turn. Yeah, okay, let's do that. If we're planning to hang out here for a turn anyway. Alright, I think with that we are done. Oh, we did get our warp fuel. So let's spend... before we run out of food here. Alright. Our Doom Wheels have reached their maximum potential, and... I guess that's what we could do with one of the slots here. Replace this with the Regiment of Renown Doom Wheel. Or maybe we'll just summon it in one of the other armies to fill a slot. A regenerating Doom Wheel definitely has some real utility. Unsurprisingly, Wulfric the Wanderer was eaten by a dragon. Exawaddle is letting one of their armies slowly die in a storm. Seems like a not ideal play to me. Alright, I think Clan Moors is going to take all that stuff to the south of us. Apart from the major settlements that would be good for our objective, I don't really feel a need to own any of that territory. Like, if they want to take Jufbar and have to deal with it, I'm 100% cool with that. So it looks like the Dwarves and Corone are having a hard time holding back the Sartosan pirates in the Southlands. Partially that's going to be because the Dwarves don't have any spare men. Their guys are very, very committed to the rat fight. Oh, interesting. He tried to sneak past us. Well, it feels like we ought to take this, right? And in fact, it sort of looks like this should go pretty well for us. I'm always a little nervous when this thing is happening. I'm going to hit auto-resolve here, and if it gives us a bad result, I reserve the right to take this manually, because I can't tell what the hell's going to happen there. Oh, really? Okay, well, like I said, I reserve the right to, I cannot believe that. There's no way. Alright, we're going to take it manually. That's... If the auto-resolver behaved in a way that made sense at all, or even was simply consistent, I think it would really improve the game. I wish that they would get around to fixing that. In their defense, they have made it better. It used to be the case that you would have to manually fight every single siege battle, because even in situations where you were massively overpowering the enemy, it would give them such a huge bonus to auto-resolve just from their settlement having walls, that you'd end up doing 150 of the same battle over the course of an Immortal Empires campaign, which obviously is not super fun for anyone. It also used to give major AI factions like Araza Karak a huge auto-resolve bonus just because they're major factions. Which I guess the idea there is they want you to actually fight the battles with the major like when you're up against minor factions, it can feel perfunctory, but then when you're up against the major factions, it should feel like a big epic war. But in practice, it's not really how it works out. It feels like the same battle over and over again. Okay, so this army is in march mode, so we're starting tired. I do think it's a little bit strange that we don't get our reinforcements. We absolutely should get our reinforcements. And this is a case where we're hoping to break them down pretty seriously before they enter melee range.
Rattling gun.
It's also a case where we're going to have to move forward very significantly before we can actually fire on them at all. A little bit of an annoyance. Okay. Start battle. Everybody just like go to here probably at the very least. And basically we're gonna watch our catapult range creep forward here. Remember, their grudge thrower has a slightly better range than our siege stuff does, so we gotta be smart about our approach. Wait, am I confused? Do they not have a grudge thrower? They definitely have a bolt thrower. And they had a flame cannon. I thought... Okay, well maybe we don't have to worry about... No, here we go. It's an organ gun. The other thing was an organ gun. Okay. Alright, I think we can just issue a halt. And fire at will here. And then... So if that's where we're going to stop, let's just pull the gunners back to right in front of that. Then all the melee troops further back than that, just ready to surge forward as the dwarves approach, but not in the way before the dwarves approach. And as ever, we will keep our eye on the enemy. Look for an opportunity to use menace below charges for great evil.
Yes, yes.
Alright, what do I feel is the most dangerous stuff? Actually, that's fine. We're firing into a group of enemies that incidentally contains their siege equipment. That'll totally work. We should probably have one of these guys focused on the organ gun crew, though. Because I don't really want that organ gun to exist. And this is one of those situations where any win is a big win, even if our troops are in actual terrible shape. Let's slow their advance, hopefully do some damage before they manage to get their troops back in position to kill us. It was a pretty solid catapult hit there, the moment I drop guys. They are approaching gun range. Alright, good friendly fire. These catapults should probably change their targeting. At this point, these guys are so separated, we're going to be able to deal with them with menace below charges. Alright, here comes the gunfire. Gonna lay out that assault of stone. And I'm totally going to use a Doom Rocket here, too. Boy, that's faster than I've ever seen a dwarf move before. Hold on, let me issue the attack command. Okay. Alright, let's start moving guys up. We're gonna try to leave a gap in the middle for guns to be able to shoot through, or maybe move toward. It's weird. I already had some units selected when I control selected that guy. I'm not sure why it didn't keep them selected. And unfortunately, this lord does not really know a lot of useful spells. I think we'll do a Vermintide real quickly here just to slow their advance. The bolt thrower guys abandoned their war machines. They're running backwards right now, but not toward their war machines, which are over here. So I don't know what they're doing, but they're not throwing bolts. I feel okay about that. We can have them attack the Slayers. They actually have a chance of dealing some damage to the Slayers. I definitely want to drop a Bless with Filth on this side of the battle. And let's give some more specific type attack orders. So we don't necessarily want to have anybody engaging with Thorgrim on purpose. I think that there's very little value in trying to melee attack Thorgrim Grudgebearer with a Storm Vermin. What we can do, probably, is have the Rattling Guns shoot Thorgrim over the rest of our troops, because I think that he is large. You can see he's towering over us on his stupid chair, with his stupid book and his stupid dwarf hat. He's wearing a little golden dwarf fortress on his head. Dwarves think this is cool. Unironically, they think that this is a cool thing to do. This is why we have to destroy them. Alright, I think it's safe to start moving up the Death Runners. It's like the enemies are engaged. Yeah, you guys don't have another target either. Let's hope that people can actually see Thorgrim Grudgebearer. And I am not above... Man, do I want to just Doom Rocket right here? What would I kill? I'd kill a couple units of... We should wait until some of their better stuff is up here. Like, they have a unit of Hammerers back there still. There's Iron Breakers. Yeah, I don't want to burn the Doom Rocket on Longbeards when there's all this other stuff around. I'm a little worried about the Flamethrowers, in case you were wondering. In fact, I'm worried enough that we're going to have one of our units run over there. Okay, we are able to fire on Thorgrim Grudgebearer through all the battle. Try to stop that guy from doing his thing. Hold on. As much as I want to kill Thorgrim Grudgebearer, obviously the Gyro Bomber has to be a very high priority. Alright, so you guys are kind of attacking those Grudge Bearers. Do this. Like, run around to here and attack those guys that way. You lot should probably just run in and attack here. I think you guys are kind of doing this thing. That's the fake unit there. We're 43 seconds off of an... Man, okay. I guess I can do another Vermintide, though. We are going to cover the field with terrible rat units. It's amazing. What an incredible army. Alright, he should go down relatively quickly. Yeah, wow. Good work, everybody. Way to focus fire. We're a couple seconds off of being able to refilthinate. And we will. Oh, we will. Alright. Those guys have actually done their job admirably. Good targeting from the catapults. Good damage from the gunners. We're absorbing some grenades from those guys. defeating Thorgrim Grudgebearer himself is going to have a big effect. You guys are storm vermin. Get the hell back in there. You're embarrassments. Alright, we might want to retarget the catapults a little bit here. So, hammerers are in. Hammerers are definitely a high priority, considerably tougher than a lot of the other enemies we have to deal with here. I think you could keep working the Iron Drakes. We're going to have a hard time putting up against the Iron Drakes, especially since, like, bringing in Menace Below charges underneath them isn't really an option. Iron Drakes are quite good fighters. You guys can finish this job, hopefully. Alright, Thorgrim himself is bleeding. We're getting there. Let's try to bring down these Slayers quickly. Alright, we've almost got Thorgrim. He's almost done. When you get Thorgrim Grudgebearer to retreat, that's, you know, things are going alright. I'm gonna start pulling Rattling Guns to the side to try to deal with some of these troops that are approaching on the flank. You guys, really, between the lot of you, you can't kill any of these Ironbreakers? Their armor should be all messed up and... Man. Alright, so that's Longbeards. Okay, Thorgrim's down. So now we gotta replan a little bit here. Thorgrim's down, these Longbeards are close to dead. You guys should just stay in on that. And we need to think about potentially using the Doom Rocket. This might be a Doom Rocket kind of situation. I will say I'm a little frustrated by how poorly this is going. I knew it wasn't going to be a clean victory, but at this point I'm starting to wonder if it is going to be a victory. We're losing in melee all over the place, in places where I don't necessarily think we should be. Gonna make me some more rats. We can never have enough rats. But like the way their forces are divided at this point, I'm not really sure what the Doom Rocket position would be. Is it just right here? There's 64 hammerers alive in this area. Plus, I think this actually is exactly what we do. This has to become a win. We have to win this battle. Guys, aim that way. These guys have been flamethrowered all to hell, which is a real shame. Stay in on them. You guys gotta get in on them. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can pull it out. No, a bunch of the hammerers are moving away. It's cowards. Alright, good gunfire. Oh, is the ground kind of slightly uneven? That's annoying. Alright, you guys go buy them time to move away. Sometimes gun units can be very frustrating. Alright, make that happen. Got units recovering. We gotta pull them back into the battle. Wow, you guys really ran. That's fine. Your gunners, you'll get back in there. We got Death Runners, and Storm Vermin here. The most important things are to make sure that we finish breaking their melee troops. Their ranged troops can be dealt with by guns and catapults and stuff. We have to finish breaking the melee. Those are just Longbeards. Okay, you guys do that. You guys do this. You get in here and do that. The cooldown on Vermintide is like incredibly small, so we can get another unit of rats up here to help us. Yeah, if we can just finish off their melee, and this becomes a range versus range thing, we have a huge advantage because we have catapults and they have no siege gear. Those iron breakers are going to be a problem, though. These Ironbreakers are also a problem on account of their invincible. Also, these guys are horribly outnumbered, and they're having war crimes committed against them on a very regular basis. I feel like they should want to give up. Also, we killed their king right in front of them. We killed his entire head off. It's just laying on the ground over there. Aren't you supposed to be attacking? What is going on here? Oh, they needed to be 2 inches further forward. Of course, that's my bad. How foolish of me. Are we attacking now? Have we figured out how to attack? Okay, they're getting it. It's so much flamethrower nonsense. Okay, those guys are breaking down. We're totally gonna lose. That's a shame. And it's not a big deal, I guess. Turns out the auto-resolve had the right idea. It's not that big of a deal for us to lose while shattering this army, because it gives us total control of the area. Like, the loss of an army for Thorgrim Grudgebearer in the situation that we are in right now is way bigger than the loss of an army for us at the moment. Shoot them. Figure out what you have to do to shoot them. Those guys, they're broken enough. Are we... for real? Did 2 units of gunners working together fail to shoot enough dwarves in the back to win us this flank? That's frustrating. That's an embarrassing thing for all involved. Alright, I'm pretty sure I'm outperforming the auto-resolve. At this point, it looks like we're still definitely going to lose, which is definitely annoying. But I do think we have done better here than the auto-resolver did. You're basically out of... No. That's a shame. I really thought crushing their king right at the beginning of the battle was going to have more of an effect on their morale than it did. Oh, wait, maybe they're shaken. They're wavering. Okay, there we go. Well, it wasn't the clean victory I was hoping for. I mean, I knew we were going to lose people. We lost... Okay, that's the actual casualty numbers make it look a little bit less bad than it looked on the table. I gotta remember, our units flee off the side of the map and disappear before they are completely destroyed. So, we might not have actually lost any units. These two might be low enough that they break up and scatter to the winds. But they're the only 2 that are even close. So that's not bad. It would have been cool to have a full army there, to still have our assassin, but this outcome is totally acceptable. Like I said, any win here is a big win because of what it means for local control. So we might have Stunkrich fall back to our nearby settlement. Okay, no, we did not lose the units. Instead of continuing to push up on Barrackvar. And then we'll continue with the rest of the plan, like we said. Man, I sure hope that somehow, against all odds, the World Walkers are able to start causing trouble for the elves. It looks to me like they're just going to sail over there and get murdered in a 10-1 loss. But if they can weaken Lothern in any way, we have to be pretty excited about that. Yeah, we really need to... Even though we're talking about forces we're not at war with, we really need to lower the number of enemies we have in the world, because there are so many hostile agents out there.
No time. Experiments to do.
So we probably want to start considering actual military movement with Vomik again. Okay, Arat's back. Ostermark is going to rebel. Okay, that might be what Vomik is doing. Vomik might be just going to Ostermark to put down a rebellion. Because somebody's got to. And everybody else is indisposed, I think? Wait, where am I? Here we go. Ikit Claw could make it as far down as Nashrak's Lair. I mean, we do need to take Carrot Cadron. We can't let them have Carrot Cadron. It's definitely a threat. He and Vomik could unite on that. So yeah, we're probably gonna have to pull Vomik back to Ostermark. I'm not gonna play the whole turn. We're gonna call the video here, but I am gonna pull Vomik back now because otherwise I'm afraid I'm not going to remember. We can actually just have him move to Waldenhof for the moment. Now he's in position. Where's the capital? Where's Bekoffen? Bekoffen's considerably north. That's actually really inconvenient for him. Maybe it's not his job. But Hadar's recruiting for another 5 turns, and I don't really want to interrupt that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure what we'll do here. Let's get him his Bonebreaker. I think we want that. And then I think that's what we're going to call it. It's probably going to end up being Vomik's job to put down this rebellion. Or I guess we could just turn off taxation and not have a rebellion. Maybe that's a plan. I don't know. Okay, no, I'm not doing any... The game, it just draws you in. There's so many little decisions to make, and every one of them makes something... There's some kind of problem in my brain. Every time I make a little strategic decision, my brain releases a little bit of the happiness chemicals, you know? I'm going to stop here, though, in defiance of my stupid human brain. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when something... I don't know what we're doing. Come back next time. Some people are going to die. I feel fairly confident of that. And we'll see you then.